Welcome to Real Life with Jenny. My name's Jenny Sanaparatna. Grab your favorite drink, get yourself a snack, and we will get started. Today I have salted almonds, Chex Mix, and I have water because I'm not feeling great, so we're going to flush all of this out. Well, let's get real. I have talked about my house a lot, but you know what? It's where you live, and it's kind of a big deal in my life. So 25 years ago, we bought this trailer, and one of the things that we did is we bought the sample trailer. Like they used to have like these places that you could go and look at like the model homes kind of for trailer courts. And we bought the one that was there and it was supposed to be delivered to our lot. Well, they ended up not giving us that, which kind of was a little frustrating because I would have changed a couple things about that trailer if I would have known I wasn't getting the model, but that's okay. So one of the things that I would have changed was the curtains and the carpeting. So the carpeting was burgundy through the entire home, except for the bathrooms and the kitchen, burgundy carpet everywhere, which is very hard to match, by the way. And then we had these curtains in our living room. We have a sunken living room, so it actually goes down 2 steps. So we're a little bit closer to the ground. And that room not only came with burgundy carpeting, it also came with burgundy and tan curtains that were very outdated and ugly when we got them 25 years ago. Like, not my favorite. I actually spent a ton of time like looking for new curtains. I'd buy curtains, I'd return them. I'd buy new curtains, I'd return them. Like, I spent years looking for curtains to replace them. Now, part of it is curtains are much more expensive than I think they should be. Now, I have not looked in a long time, so maybe now they're super cheap. I don't know. 25 years ago, I was like, this is like too much. And so eventually, they actually started fading because we get so much sun because we have 8 huge windows in our living room. And so the carpet actually started fading, the curtains were fading. So I'm like, we need to do something. So I got mini blinds. I actually went to Walmart and I remember very vividly we have 8 windows and they were $2.96 a piece. And I was like, this is a huge investment. Like, am I ready for this? And I did it. I bought 8 of them. I actually bought a couple more because then we put them in other rooms too, I believe. And Kevin put them all up because that was amazing. But they're made cheaply. Like, right? Like, so there are 2 or 3 of them that have been replaced several times because they break. And that's one of the things that drives me crazy about a trailer court is as you walk around, at least half of the houses have broken mini blinds or sheets up instead of curtains. And so I actually took down all my curtains and just left the mini blinds eventually because I could never find anything that worked for me, that looked nice, that I enjoyed. So I actually took down all the curtains in my living room and just had the mini blinds up. Well, the other day, back probably October, November, I was like in this puzzle phase and I was doing a puzzle and I needed a bigger picture of the puzzle. So sometimes there's like a sheet inside the puzzle case that you can put up so you can see the puzzle better. And it was one of those that like you needed to see better detail to be able to figure out what was going on because it was a very confusing puzzle. So I taped it up and I made the mistake of taping it up to the mini blinds, not realizing that the mini blind was actually not strong enough to handle Scotch tape. It broke. It like snapped in half. And I was like, okay, that's it. I'm done. Like, I am not dealing with these mini blinds anymore because at this point now we have like 6 different brands of mini blinds. Okay, that's probably exaggerating. So we probably had 3 different types of mini blinds. We had like ones that were white and ones that were kind of tan and ones that were off-white, and it was kind of becoming a whole thing. Like, I was like this, every time I sat in the living room, I was like, what is happening? So I decided, I had this grand scheme. I am going to buy new mini blinds. Like, this is what's going to happen. I don't know how we're going to swing it, but we are going to do this. Because last time they were $2.96. How much different could it be 25 years later? Like, right? Well, yeah, here we are, right? So I go to Walmart and I find the mini blinds that I wanted. So I was kind of between two things. I was between like the faux wood mini blinds or the like fabric mini blinds, because I thought maybe fabric would be lighter. I don't know. So I decided on the faux wood mini blinds that are like 2 inches deep instead of the 1 inch, because I had the 1 inch vinyl. So anyway, I bought them. They didn't fit. I had to return them, which I hate doing. I hate returns. Like, that's my least favorite thing in the whole world to do. I would rather do laundry than do a return. I know. Kevin just heard that. And now he's like, oh, now I have a trade. Here we go. But I returned them and we got all new ones. Kevin put them up. And I am telling you, it has made a huge difference. They look so nice. The place looks so classy. The only problem is now I realize how dirty the windows are. Because, the windows behind my TV, I probably haven't cleaned, and I'm not going to tell you how long. I don't think it's been 25 years, but it's been a while. And I was like, oh, those are really dirty. I actually cleaned them off this morning, and I was like, wow. Kevin walked in from taking the dog outside. He's like, I can tell the difference. Like, it just is amazing, this small change in my world. And so as I was coming to you this morning, I'm actually coming to you from the living room because I needed a place that was a little more sunny and cheery. Sometimes I like to do the podcast in the dark. And today I was like, I need sunshine. I'm not feeling great. And so I have in 2025 started a new mission for myself. It's not a goal. It's just kind of like, I deserve this mission. I want to make my mornings a little more productive, a little more proactive. I don't know what the right word is. I haven't found the right word for it yet. But I want to make my mornings so they're not a lose. I have felt like I'm behind the 8 ball every single morning. Like I wake up too late. I just feel crummy, and it sets the rest of my day up. And so I'm like, I'm going to do 2 things every day. And one of those is in the morning, I'm going to do a little bit of self-care. Now, what does that mean? Every day is a little different. So some days it can just be putting on some lotion. And instead of waiting 5 days and going, why is my skin so dry? Put some lotion on my hands. Like, Jenny, this is not brain surgery. Like, I'm sure all of you are already doing that. But I so often just forget about, like, taking care of myself. Doing the small things like getting out my favorite chapstick and using it. Just simple things that sometimes I just don't do. Like the other morning I got up and I put on some Color Street nail polish. So that's like little stickers that you put on your fingernails. I hope that that's what they are. I'm not 100% sure, but they are. They're like little stickers and you put them on your fingernails and then you've got this beautiful manicure. And so I woke up in the morning and I'm like, I'm just going to do this. And the rest of the day I felt fabulous. I'm like, look at me. I've got a beautiful set of nails on. Like, it has just made such a difference. Now, has anybody else noticed? No, they haven't. It's kind of like my mini blinds. When I have people over for book club, they may not even notice my new mini blinds because it's not a big deal to anybody else. First of all, they're no longer the weird, I no longer have the weird curtains, and now I have mini blinds that don't fall apart every time you put Scotch tape on them. Not that I've tried, but, they're not going to fall apart every time that I try to open or close them. Like, it just makes such a huge difference for me. And so I started thinking about that when I was thinking about what to do for the podcast this morning. And I thought, you know what? Here's the truth of the matter. We live our lives for other people so often. Like, we're taking care of our family, we're taking care of our coworkers, we're doing things for our boss, we're doing things for our church, we're doing things for our neighbors. Like, we are all about taking care of other people. And yes, that is so important, 100%. In fact, I put up on Real Life with Jenny on the group, how many of you do your own Christmas stockings? just to kind of find out if people, especially moms, like, do you have a Christmas stocking? Do you fill it yourself? Does someone else fill it? Like, how do you do that? And it was actually not surprising to me how many people don't actually even have a stocking, let alone get it filled by anybody else or even fill it themselves. And I really thought about that because that's something a couple years ago. I remember Sam was probably 13. She was like, Mom, why do you have like nothing in your stocking? Why don't you have anything? Now at this point, she kind of understood the stocking situation a little bit more than maybe your kids do. And I was like, oh, wow, you know what? You're right. I really need to prioritize that and make sure that that is done in a very good way. And we just so often put ourselves on the back burner, and the small things that we may need that actually will spark joy and happiness in your life. And I just wanted to come on and encourage you that this week, maybe just this week, because we don't want to get too crazy. Okay, I'm thinking like really the whole year. But okay, I'm going to start you off with a week because I think some of you are like, that's too much, Jenny. I want you to do one thing a day that is taking care of you. Something that maybe only you'll notice. Buying your favorite chapstick, adding extra cream to your coffee. Something that is just saying, you know what, I'm worth this today. I am worth making sure that I have new mini blinds that look fantastic. And yes, they were an investment. And yes, they took time. And yes, I had to return things to the store. But boy, has it made a huge difference for me and how I see life. And it's actually how I see life because all of a sudden now I'm like watching the sunsets because the sun sets right outside of our front windows in our living room. And it is gorgeous. It goes over the trees and the sunset is so beautiful. And I have the window blinds open every night since I've had them to be able to watch the sunset. And it has made a difference in how I look at life. And so a small thing can really change that for you. It can change the outlook. It can change your energy. And so I just want you to be creative and think about ways to maybe do one thing for yourself. It may not be anything extravagant. It may be simple. But I'm telling you, the day that I put on my Color Street nails, I have never felt so glamorous. I was just like, this makes me feel so happy. And it was it only took me 5 minutes. And I was like 5 minutes. And the rest of my day just felt like I can do this. And there are days that I wake up and I go, I can't do this. There's so much to do. I'm overwhelmed. I've got all these other things. And I just don't know how to handle it. And you know what? That day, God was like, you can do this. And I would look down at my nails and I would remember that, my small thing. So I just encourage you to do something small for yourself this week. Well, that's all I have for you. I pray that you will be inventive and creative and give yourself some treats this week. Do something fun. Maybe it's not extravagant, maybe it's simple, but I'm sure it will be wonderful. You can find me at Real Life with Jenny on Facebook, Instagram, and Be Real. You can also support this ministry by going to buymeacoffee.com/Real Life with Jenny. You can also go to christconnection.cc/Jen. All of my info is there. I have 7 more spots for 2025 that I'm speaking. So 7 more spots and they're gone. So if you are interested, it's time to get on the books and get on that calendar before all the spots are gone. So I'm excited to see what God can do this year. I know that if you give yourself to the Lord, He has plans and He sees you and He loves you and it's going to be a great year. I know that you're probably walking through something really tough. And that is why it is so important for you to lean on God, know that He's in charge, and take care of yourself. Do something for yourself today, tomorrow, and the rest of the week. I want to hear about what you're doing to take care of yourself by doing some small things that will change your outlook, I promise. Have a great week.